one point I want to connect here is the Westchester Land Trust has established this forum in which they connect landowners with farmers who want to grow, but perhaps don't have the land to grow. And so then when we go and open the soils as a farmer, this is a soil that we opened yesterday on a field.
So when you say open, you mean dug a hole and wanted
Right.
to test the soil for
This land
viability.
hasn't been farmed for quite a while, even though it had been farmed at some time.
Clumpy.
You're seeing a lot of clumps, you're seeing a lot of clay, and not a lot of life.
Right.
Now,
No worms.
no worms, no.
No.
This is from a bed that we have grown on for several years, and our commitment, part of sustainability, is that you always leave a soil in better shape than you start with. And there are a few very important steps in organic growing for building healthy soil.
Now this is beautiful. This looks like what I call black gold.
Well, we share that. It's what we
Yeah.
call black gold as well.
So it clumps when you squeeze it, but it's friable when you open your hand, right?
Yes, exactly.
That's what you're looking for.
That is, and what more and more soil biologists are learning over and over, and farmers anecdotally on their farms, is that a soil is actually a group of living systems. It's an ecosystem. And whereas you see that there's not much life in this soil, it's actually easy to bring it back to life. And we'll do that today, bringing it back to life.
What is this soil? Have you tested it for minerals or?
We haven't tested this. We sent the test out yesterday,
Okay.
but we have some basic ideas. We want to establish the biolife of the soil. And by biolife, we talk about the bacterial and fungal living systems that support, excuse me here, Martha, I'm just going to reach over.
Oh,
We
yeah.
picked this from our farm this morning.
Look at
That
that.
support the root, oh, here's a big worm right
yeah. Well,
coming
that's from
out
your
there.
farm.
That's from our
It-
farm.
What a
That
beautiful
support
lettuce.
the root system. It's called the rhizosphere of where we grow our plants. And the plants need the soil, and the soil needs the plants. So one of the ways that we'll start to rebuild this soil is
It's like ashes. It looks from the fireplace.
well, potash has its own purpose
Okay.
too. But these are micronized minerals. Once we do a soil test and we find that we're deficient in certain trace minerals, we'll sprinkle a carefully compounded mix of the minerals into that soil. That provides the trace minerals that the biolife needs in order to thrive. So I'm taking just water here, and we're using just a little bit of seawater. Probably many of you know seawater is almost 98% comparable to our blood in terms of the minerals that it carries in it. And
So do you go down to the sea and collect it?
I'd like to, but it would be so many hundreds of gallons. So we buy a product, and you can get different ones that's a concentrated seawater. This is called Sea Crop. You can get C90. You can ask at your
so you
local
mix it
stores.
with your, so it's a
And you dilute
solution.
it
Okay.
carefully. And so then we just add this to the water. And Martha, if I can ask you
I'll
to
do
do
that,
this,
yep.
I'm going to move to our next important step. Now, these are worm castings that we harvested from our one section of our farm where we have a lot of worms. For those of you who don't know, worm castings are the poop of worms, but they're filled with biolife, and they're filled with easily absorbable nutrients for
See why I
our,
put gloves on? Worm poop.
for our little baby hair-like roots.
Okay.
That they have to have food that's easy to assimilate.
And a lot of compost.
And then we add, but I have to say, Martha, I saw your compost here, and I wish I was adding your compost instead of my compost.
Don't you love my compost?
It's gorgeous.
Yes.
It may be the nicest compost.
Oh, I have mountains of it, mountains that
So-
I make every year.
Yeah, kudos to you. So we're adding, this adds organic matter, it adds a lot of nutrition to the soil, and it's
Look,
giving...
it's already, look what it's
yes,
looking like.
it's already looking
Oh,
like that.
It does look amazing, really amazing. And anything else?
Well, interestingly enough, we would want to plant these soils because you can't just lay out a soil. You have to plant it full of plants so that these sugars and these nutrients are going to the biolife that's now available.
So sow your garden, so easy crops to start, right? So
Easy.
and fast growing so that the roots will get down in there.
Yes.
And already this looks like a very, very different place.
Yeah.
Really great. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure, Martha.
And we'll be right back.
All right.
I didn't get to the reason.